Hello, welcome to Dungeon Drills Podcast. I'm your host, Justin. Today, we're reviewing Saturday Morning Mystery. Wow, something just started playing on my computer. Thanks a lot. Yeah, I tried to, as I was about to review this movie, I accidentally closed all my windows. So, I had to fucking reload everything. Yeah, so today we're reviewing Saturday Morning Mystery while playing Digimon World 2. I went to work today and didn't get to play any Digimon World 2, so that's the game we're going to be playing while reviewing this movie. Right, so the movie is Saturday Morning Mystery, and oh shit. You might have heard of this movie because I actually heard about this movie through What Culture Horror, where they said it was like a cool, like Scooby Doo. What if the cast of Scooby Doo were in an actual horror movie, right? And it's supposed to be a horror comedy, so I thought it would be, a good movie. The problem with the movie is the movie sucks. It's not a horror comedy; it's more of like a horror drama, right? Which the movie is directed by Spencer Parsons, starring Josephine Decker, Paul Gordon, Johnny Mars, Ashley Spillers, and Adam Tate. Don't know really any of these people. I'm assuming Johnny Mars is the fucking plays the Scooby, not the Scooby, the fuck. I'm trying to remember the Scooby Doo characters. Which one was the stoner again? Oh my god, I can't remember. So yeah, you have these group of people who are ghost hunters, led by these two girls, right? And you also have a stoner, his pet dog, named Hamlet, and you have Chad, who's the boyfriend of Gwen, and and Gwen's supposed to be the Daphne character, and the other one, um, I forget her name, but she's supposed to be the Velma, and they kind of started off as this like Nancy Drew. I think her name was actually Nancy. Nancy Drew, like uh, duo where they went around when they go around solving mysteries, right? Trying to disprove ghosts, right? In the beginning of the movie, they're investigating ghosts at this haunted like house. It turns out it wasn't a haunted house. Really, it was like. Then the movie gets really dark. It was like a kitty, like I don't even want to say what the fuck it is. Let's say this place was producing cheese pizza, and they were scaring away people with projectors and weird sounds, so they can make the cheese pizza in peace or whatever, right? Um, also, okay, so like yeah, so like they go to the cops. The cops arrest them and give them flack for doing what they did because they were actually building a case against them, and because our ghost hunters um, you know uh, interrupted the whatever, like pulled the plug on them too soon, they're gonna get out. How are they gonna get off when they're caught like red-handed? Because they literally have kids in cages in this place. I have no idea, man. Right? That scene was dumb. You find out later. You find out later that they're out of like money, and they get a call from this banker who owns this like house that used to be like a school or orphanage, right? Ran by this family who were accused of being Satanists, right? Who died and they were accused of killing their kids, right? Obviously that gets called back to later. So like our gang takes the job. They meet this cop who tells them all about the place, like warns them to stay away, but obviously they need the money, right? So they stay at this place, this haunted house, and weird shit starts to happen, right? And it turns out like the druggie of the group accidentally put acid tabs in their drinks, right? And that's the thing with this movie. They do a fake out because the movie, you think it's going to be about our characters who go around debunking ghosts, right? Even though the one guy, Chad, who funds everything, who has the van, right, believes in ghosts, but like, you know, what the fuck? We're told to go raise our rank again? Oh my god. Such bullshit. Right? Well, I don't know. My problem with the movie is you would think it's going to be like, oh, the ghost hunters encounter real ghosts. It turns out the movie fucking... You think it's going to turn into Grave Encounters or something like along those lines. It turns into basically The Hills Have Eyes, right? Which... It turns into The Hills Have Eyes, and and it really, I mean, it does get, you know, gory, and like, you know, there's decent kills in the movie, but it's like, my problem with the movie is that it's fucking, the movie you think is going to be a parody of Scooby Doo, and it's going to be a horror comedy. The movie's not funny at all, and it's not funny at all, and the jokes in the movie, none of the characters are like their counterparts in the show, and they name drop Scooby Doo like multiple times in the movie, and the movie's selling point is, you know, it's supposed to be like this, what if the Scooby Doo gang we're in a horror movie, right? And they're not even anything like the characters from the show. And I know it's supposed to be like, you know, if they were too much like the characters, they would get sued or whatever. But I don't know, man. The movie is just not funny. And there's a scene where you think there's a scene where the dog, you think, gets killed, which the dog does get killed later on in the movie. And like, you know, there's a thing where, like, you know, the one dude is watching like the couple fuck on camera, right? And there's a kid watching them in the background, right? He thinks it's a ghost, so he goes in to warn them. Right, and like, you know, the other girl's there. You don't see the dog with them, and then the last time you saw the dog was in the van. They go back out, and the van is on fire, and you don't see the dog anywhere. He actually shows up later in the movie inside the house, and it's like the one dude starts freaking out, my van. And it's like, what about the dog, man? Nobody's asking where the fucking dog was, which the dog, Hamlet. I ate pizza earlier, right? The dogs turned out to be fine, but it was like, what the fuck, man? Like, the editing is retarded, because it's like, you probably should have, because I'm watching this, I'm wondering, why is he making a big deal about the van? What about the fucking dog, man? And it turns out the dog was fine, but like, they should have showed, hey, the dog was with them, right? It was so fucking dumb, right? And then, like, yeah, the movie has this, like, the movie is more of a horror drama, right, than a comedy. There's no funny shit in the movie at all. Which, if you look at the poster, you think it's going to be a horror comedy. It's not, man. It was just a mediocre horror film, right? And And yeah, so there was some cool kills and gore in the movie, but it's the practical effects in the movie looks really fake. Like there's a scene where a dog is eating like uh is eating like a severed hand, right? And he's pulling off the skin off the hand. And it looks rubbery. It looks fake as fuck, right? And yeah, and I didn't again, the whole twist of the movie. It's like, oh, it turns out they were right that there are no ghosts, and it's like you have these crazy like inbred like people living in the crazy kids of the people who own the house are living there, and they're killing people, and they have an inbred son, right? Who kills the dog with a hammer. And you have like Under the Silver Lake moment where Chad tries to beat the kid to death, right? Which I'm like, oh, dude. And they're trying to stop him, right? Which was, yeah, he went a bit too far, but it's like, fuck, man. Like, the guy killed the kid kills the dog with a hammer and is trying to fucking, like, is eating it, man. It's like, what the fuck, dude? Which, poor doggo. And they do that final girl bullshit, right? Where the two guys get killed and, like, it's the two girls, right? Which the ending of the movie is fucking brutal. Where the one chick gets like, you know, chopped in half with an axe, and she's like laying there with her intestines out, and she's begging her friend to put her out of her misery, to kill her, man, with the cop's gun. And the cop is like, yeah, that's okay. kill your friend with my gun. I'm sure I'm not gonna get in trouble for that. Right? Well, that was fucking dumb, man. I don't know. To me, the movie was just very hard to watch, and at times I stopped. The movie is only like an hour and 27 minutes. This came out 2012, by the way, and I had to take multiple breaks to fucking watch the movie, right? The only thing that's good in the movie is I thought some of the performances were good, and the music was good, but overall the movie I just thought was shitty, man. If you're a fan of Scooby Doo, I would say, fuck it, dude. Watch the fucking terrible movies, man. It's better than this. Though you see some like TNA in the movie, but the TNA is not that good to me, in my opinion. And I kind of hated that Chad was like the only likable one of the group, right? Aside from her girlfriend, his girlfriend Gwen. And they made him, like, before he died, like a complete asshole. He calls his girlfriend a whore. Right, which is like, what the fuck? You have to ruin the one likable character in the movie, right? Yeah, the movie sucks, and I wouldn't recommend it. If I were to give it a rating, I would say, I want to give it. I want to give it a 4 out of 10, but I don't think it's that bad. I think some people will enjoy this movie, so I'm giving it a 5 out of 10. But I really did not like this movie, and I have a hard time when a movie's really bad. I have a fucking hard time coming up with shit to talk about it and talk about, right? That's why I don't really review a lot of really bad movies, but this movie was fucking terrible. And it's kind of my duty as a critique, to fucking warn people to stay away from bad movies, which I watched this movie for free on Tubi, so Tubi has a lot of good movies on there, but, you should expect once in a while to watch a bad movie, especially since they have a lot of Full Moon Pictures films on there, which we're going to review a lot of them next month. Yeah. I also wanted to talk about how I lost all respect for one of my favorite critics, who is Mark Kerman, right? Who I watch his, I watched his review of Ghostbusters and Afterlife, which I'm not hearing a lot of good things of, right? And I know a lot of people in our circle like it. It sounds like it's another Force Awakens to me, right? Which I'll still review it when I can watch it, right? And I don't have a problem with Mark Kerman saying the movie is a bad movie, right? Which is a lot, because even like Bill Murray in interviews was kind of saying implying some shit like the movie sucks because it's like supposed to be a comedy, but it's more of a drama. People are crying at the end of the fucking movie, right? Which Ghostbusters is supposed to be a comedy. And my problem with Mark Kerman's review though is because Mark Kerman, the one thing about Mark Kerman that I fucking respect about him is that he used to put his politics aside and would review a movie and would give his honest, take on it. Now, lately, with his reviews, it seems like, if the movie has the politics that he agrees with, he likes the movie. And now, I know he did it with he didn't do that with Eternals, but that's because Eternals was a clusterfuck of a movie, right? And even other woke critics were trashing the movie, right? And he was even making a big point of saying, yes, the movie has politics I agree with, but, here's an example of why I think the movie sucks, right? This is an example of not every woke movie, critics are going to love, because, people accuse critics of that. He makes a big deal about that, but, he reviews other woke movies this year and gave them good reviews, right? And with Afterlife, he trashed it, and he brought up, Ghostbusters 2016. One of the reasons why I had huge respect for fucking Mark Kerman was because he was at the time, a lot of people might forget this, at the time, nowadays, a lot of people bash Ghostbusters 2016, but at the time, a lot of major critics, were loving the movie. Even generic critics on YouTube, because they were afraid to say the movie sucked because of all the controversy, right? Mark Kerman was one of the biggest reviewers at the time who was saying that the movie sucked. He was disappointed at the movie, right? That's what his exact words. Now, with his Ghostbusters Afterlife review, it's either I'm wrong and I'm misremembering shit, or he's trying to rewrite history, which I very doubt that I'm wrong, because his Ghostbusters 2016 review was the reason why I started to respect the guy and started watching his reviews, because he would put his politics aside, right? Now he's saying the movie is 2016, he actually enjoyed the film and thought it was funny, and nowadays he doesn't even like the original Ghostbusters. It's like, what the fuck are you talking about? I actually rewatched Ghostbusters 1 and 2 recently, and those are actually good, funny movies. Even Ghostbusters 2 was actually a decent movie, man. I really enjoyed some of the jokes in that movie, right? Like the take the puppy away from the scene, where he gives the kids a puppy for the experiment, and it's like this sweet moment. Then Sigourney Weaver leaves, and he goes to his Asian assistant. Now let's try taking the puppy away from the kids. That was fucking funny. Oh my god! And now he's like, "What the fuck, Mark Kerman, man? You used to put your politics aside for reviews. Now it seems like his politics are coming first, and then whatever, right? It's like, what the fuck, Mark Herman? I lost all respect for the man. I'm no longer going to watch his movie reviews. Even fucking Double Corey and Double Toasted, right? They'll once in a while put their woke politics aside and actually trash a movie if it sucks, like that not Ghostbusters, Resident Evil Welcome to Raccoon City, which I will admit does look like the games, but what the fuck they did to Leon was like, what the fuck, man? What the fuck was that? Which even they were like, yeah, what they did to Leon was fucking bullshit. And they made him a fucking pussy in the movie, apparently, man. Yeah. So yeah, that's all I gotta say. I'm done with watching Mark Herman's review. The man is dead to me. I would, if he wants, if the guy can, if the guy, I have, if the guy wants to keep shilling woke films, that's his business, but that doesn't mean I have to watch his shitty reviews. Alright? Yeah, so that's it for this video, guys. Yeah, that's it for this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed. My next review, I'm going to actually watch a movie that sounds really fucking awesome. I have no idea if it is, though. Some of the reviews were mixed, which is Daniel Isn't Real, which is a 2019 film that has Arnold Schwarzenegger's son, Patrick Schwarzenegger, in the film playing what's his name? Like a Tyler Durden character, and I hear there's some really cool crazy stuff in the film, and there's body horror stuff. So that sounds like an interesting movie, but I don't know if I'm gonna post that on Sunday, since I did say we were going to. I have a comic book haul video scheduled for tomorrow, and I have Lord of the Rings video I want to do, which I'll be playing the Lord of the Rings game while reviewing Lord of the Rings Fellowship of the Ring. I thought hey, I should probably, we skipped fantasy month this year, but I thought I should at least review one fantasy movie, right? Yeah, so that's it for this video, guys. If I do make a review for Daniel Isn't Real, I'll post that on